Now, back to your friends, Don and Gino.
Yes, you are back with your friends, Don Gutley, Gino Flossy, the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And please join us in our new beautiful custom-built studio, the Vault Media Studios. We want to throw a shout-out to Mr. Furman behind the controls, controlling 3 cameras now. Yes, that's right, we're stepping up. Thank you for doing that, Furman. We got one on us, one on our guests, one on the whole studio. So you got to check us out at donandgino.com. That's right, DONANDGINO.com. Click on the listen and chat button, or listen live, something like that. Bottom line is you can chat with us now and ask questions. You ask Ben some questions, ask Gino questions. Give Gino a hard time. Why not?
Yeah, why not? In fact, that's our challenge to you in 2014 is to get involved. Get involved with our show, ask questions, give us a hard time, tell us what you want to hear on the show. Tell us what you don't want to hear on the show.
Well, maybe that'll motivate them.
Yeah.
After 3 years, that's usually what you hear. Like, oh. Actually, we've got some great text already. Thank you for texting us, and a few people going, hey, great show. Like your show. This Ben guy's cool. So we're here with Ben Salem with Rodeo Realty. Basically in Encino, right? Or Sherman Oaks? Is it Sherman Oaks? Okay. So on that side of the freeway, the other side is like Encino Tarzana, right?
Right.
Okay.
But there's Rodeo has an Encino Tarzana office as well, don't they?
Yeah, they have about, I think, 11 offices now.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Sid.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, Rodeo was one of the offices that started a business model of having managers that don't compete against their agents. That was one of the big things that was, I think, one of their claim to fame.
Yeah, it's pretty great, actually. I think that's the way it should be.
I agree, 100%. I don't compete with my guys here. I actually, as a manager here, I just help them obtain basically more market share and give them the support they need to be successful for our partners.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm excited because two things we got to handle in this segment, and you're going to want to listen to this. One, we started on the point about appreciation, and we're going to get on the soapbox about that this high level of appreciation, which is 11 to 12.5% nationwide, locally, meaning in Los Angeles, has been basically between 21 and 25% over the last almost year now, and it's going to drop because that's year over year. So understand this of why it's going to change. It's going to change because when we went from the bottom and started going up, it went up fast because all of you went out and bought at the same time because you felt comfortable about purchasing a home, that it was a good investment again. And by the way, real estate's always a great investment. Over time, remember that.
That's
said
part
over
of the rules.
time.
Remember the rules that
Right.
we got, the rules about real estate?
So since a lot of you guys went out and bought all at the same time, it pushed prices up immediately. And a lot of you felt that pain trying to buy a home. Ben, I'm sure you had that pain getting 15 offers or submitting so many offers for your buyers. How hard was that for them at times, not being able to get into a home?
Oh, it's very tough.
I mean,
It's sad for your clients.
Exactly. So because you did this, the price went up drastically. Okay, and then after a while, that's pent up demand has slowed a little bit. It's still a good market. So what's going to happen is year over year, when we get back to the start of where this started, where these prices went up dramatic, we're talking, again, 20% plus. We can't sustain that. Well, it's not healthy anyways, and who wants to pay that much more every single year? It hits the start of that, and those appreciation levels are going to drop dramatically.
Well, but let's just talk about this for 1 second, because it's not all about real estate market forces or supply and demand or anything like that. Part of this is just math.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
exactly.
because if you
It's
go
simple.
from 1 to 2, that's 100% gain. Well, it's not as easy to go from 2 to 4.
Right.
Okay, so, that's the other thing that we're up against. It's just plain old math.
Right.
So don't expect 22% appreciation year over year again. If it happens, it would be some astronomical anomaly and we'd be having an inflationary market. So.
Right.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of other forces
Yeah.
push beyond. So just so you know, when you hear that they've gone down, and it's going to go down, mark our words. We're going to replay this back. I guarantee it. Are you okay with that, Ben? We'll replay this back, and you were on the show where we were saying they're going to go down, and they're going to go down pretty dramatically over the next, I'd say, 6 months.
No, that's not prices. Let's be clear. That's the percentage of gain.
Yes, I'm happy
year
you
over
clarified
year.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
The percentage.
I know
of
you're
gain.
like, don't
Yeah.
tell people prices on houses are
Yeah.
going down.
No, I agree. I agree 100%.
Percentage of gain. That's
Yeah.
all. Meaning
Yep.
it's not going to. Your house is not going to appreciate 22% next year. A standard market is 3 to 6, and 3 to 6% on a $500,000 home is a lot of money.
Or in your case, with some of the clients you deal
Millions.
with, what, 9 million? 10
Right.
million?
Yeah.
I'd take 3% on that any day.
But hey, what's wrong with, for the really hot pockets, they're saying 8 to 10% even. You know, some of the really luxury areas. What's wrong with even 6, 8, 10% a year?
Right.
That's a healthy market. That's what we
Exactly.
should be at.
Exactly. And thank you for helping us clarify that, Ben.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to our point. So don't panic because the
Yeah.
media, and you're involved in the media a lot. I mean, you're on all these different channels and basic news media, you know, sharing your expertise. And I appreciate you giving us that insight that it's going to slow down. The media's going to jump on this and say the market is crashing. We're going to a second bubble.
For sure, they have to say that. They're not going to get the ratings, right?
Thank
There you go.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? It's really easy for anyone to follow the trends themselves. You could easily learn the trends. You want to learn, just like an investor, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to buy an income property, or even a buyer who's an end user. They're going to look at what the active competition on the market is. What's available on the market? How many properties are on the market? So, for example, if someone's looking for a property in Santa Monica in a small pocket of homes, and currently there's 13 homes for sale. Next month, all of a sudden, there's 19 homes for sale, and they're even nicer and priced better than the ones you looked at last month. There we go. Now there's a trend there. It's really easy to evaluate and follow that yourself, and you could easily create alerts, right?
Right.
Yeah.
On Redfin
Triggers.
or whatever.
Well,
right.
well, what's funny, if Ben, you say it so easy, like it's easy to follow these trends, but that's because you do, and that's why we have you on the show. You're an expert. You're an expert at looking at these trends. That's what we actually regurgitate on our show. It's just trends. We're just looking at the data,
Right.
like you're talking about, and going, okay, this is what's happened with sale prices, for example, or jobs, or whatever. We're able to look at those trends, and sounds really smart
Well,
because we got these predictions, but really it's just numbers, and that's what you do. You go, okay,
Yeah.
if last month there was 12 homes and now there's more, well, there's more options for them.
Right.
Therefore, it's harder for you to sell at the higher price, right?
Right. That's
Or on the other side is representing the buyer. Because there's more homes, we might be able to offer a little less.
Right. So anyone could do this.
Well,
Yeah.
you're being
But I'm
very
saying they
you're being
don't.
very
They
humble.
don't. They
You're being
don't.
very humble because the truth is that something unique happens when you do a lot of transactions like you do. Okay, and Donna and I talk about this all the time. The uniqueness of having the feel for the trend, of knowing that the market changed before anybody else realizes it, because the market can change prior to it showing up in the numbers. There's a delay before the market shows its cards, and you can feel it from experience when it changes. And I know that we started talking about it. It was pretty much a week before Thanksgiving. We said it changed,
Right.
and sure enough, it took about a month
Month.
before we started hearing everybody else saying, "Hey,
Hey.
hey, it changed."
We're like,
And-
oh, we
yeah.
knew it was
Yes.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, I don't know, maybe you can chime in on this, but I feel like it's the first year that the economy actually did well, and people decided, I'm going to take a holiday.
Yeah, you're so right. Everyone went on vacation this year.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
How-
Everyone has a lot of money this year.
Yeah.
What
I think,
happened?
Right?
No, they'll have to go back to work, though.
Right? Everyone was so conservative, and
Right.
so all of a sudden everyone's kind of letting loose. And, you know, it
It's
could be a
pent up.
dangerous thing.
Yes, yes.
It could
to
be a
let too
dangerous
loose.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
don't think we're going to go back to the days of,
Right.
2005, 2006, where it was just
Yeah.
craziness, madness.
Yeah.
However, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but I can tell you that it's happening in our world, is the home equity line of credit is back with a vengeance, and people are taking cash out of their homes left and right again.
You know, it's funny you say that. I've had about 3-4 clients a week for the last month asking me, where can I go to get a line of credit? But what makes me nervous is some of these clients are looking to get a credit so they could use that money to go buy income property to flip, which is very dangerous.
Explain that real quick. We have about 3 minutes, and give it a
Yeah.
little touch, and we can always go in the next thing.
Yeah.
But explain that right now, because you help a lot of investors, and you watch, again, you do your math. Why is it a little more dangerous now to flip?
You know, because the values are not going up so rapidly, and we're back to a normal market, some of these investors think that they're going to get the same money they were getting a year ago, and they still think that, if I buy a property for 90 cents on the dollar, it's going to be worth 120 next month. But they're wrong. So some people are spreading themselves really, really thin right now, and I'm seeing it at the trustee sales, and I'm still seeing it with people that are buying REOs. So I think the market is steady, and you got to
So those
slow
are only
down.
unique opportunities. Now, I'm sure you see them occasionally where there's a great opportunity for somebody to cash flow a home versus just banking on it appreciating.
Yeah,
Bingo.
exactly. But I think for investors, you got to play with your money. If you don't have the money, you can't take it out of your other properties or out of your home. 'Cause you're just playing with fire.
So no OPM right now.
Other people's money.
No. No.
Okay, that's sound advice, and I love it that you look at those things. You know the difference between 90 cents on the dollar versus just buying a home and thinking you can just flip it. You look at the numbers for them. You look at how much you feel it can appreciate and go over those numbers with them, and that's awesome that they have an expert like you to help them with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Speaking of that, Ben, how best can they get a hold of Ben Salem?
The best way to get a hold of me is you could call me or email me. Email is the best, the quickest to respond, and that's ben@bensalemproperties.com.
Ben@bensalemproperties.com. You had a great website, by the way, at bensalemproperties.com.
It's simple.
Yeah, you got a lot of great information. I got a plethora of pages of great information that you provide, including some of the great promotional stuff. You've been all over the place. I like
Don
this
used
stuff.
the P word. He said plethora.
Plethora. That's my 50-cent word for the day. Okay, so when we come back, Ben, why don't we talk a little bit about the advantages for buyers and sellers again. I'd love for you to touch on this little subject because kills me. What does it mean when another agent is only charging 1% to sell my home? You think you're getting a bargain? I think not. And we're going to talk to Ben Salem with Rodeo Realty when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KCS. Don't go away.